Summer's here, and instead of doing anything else outside, here's a bunch of shows you could check out from this season. Firstly, the one that everyone's been waiting to watch, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. The premise is simple. A boy gets teased by this girl, and the boy gets all flustered, and secretly, the girl actually likes the boy. Except this time, the boy and girl are having a midlife crisis. 45-year-old Sasaki looks forward to one person in his day, a supermarket cashier named Yamada. One night he's late and finds a secret smoking spot behind the store, invited by a mysterious woman that's totally not Yamada. It's Yamada. While the dynamic of Sasaki and Yamada isn't anything special, it's a complete breath of fresh air seeing an anime where the romance doesn't take place in a school. It's just two people who genuinely connect with each other after a depressing work shift, with each of them being each other's highlight of the day. But if I had a nickel for every anime about cigarettes, I would have two. Chain Smoker Cat, a cute show about a cat that smokes and lives in a super well kept apartment. Okay, maybe it isn't the most well kept, but she's a cat girl. It's probably just about a bunch of cats who smoke together and be friends and bond over cigarettes. Like every show ever. This is definitely a show that's not for everyone. Unfiltered, gross, strange. There's almost too many ways to describe it. This cat's name is Yanni, and she would rather buy cigarettes than pay rent, eat, or do basically anything else. It plays like one of those grimy, gross out 90s kid shows, like Ren and Stimpy. But beneath the gross out comedy and toilet humor, there's a deeper narrative here. Yanni is trying to actively quit, but her life never quite turns around, leading her to relapse every time. Just like real people with addictions, she's fighting. She makes earnest efforts to change, and she has a million nicotine patches on her face already. Here's another show that stars a cat, Black Torch. When it comes to the rule of cool, the show sticks out immediately. Jiro Ozma, a delinquent and a shinobi, always had this ability to talk to animals. After nursing a cat that ends up being an ancient spirit, he gets pulled into a war between humans and the supernatural. The premiere plays like old reliable shonen comfort food, and for a lot of people, that's going to land perfectly. I'm sure the manga is going strong even. I don't know what it is with these Axe manga adaptations, but there seems to be more love in the production of this and Kill Blue compared to a current staple like Sakamoto Days. But if it means there's more opportunities for some of these unlucky mangaka to see their work in motion, I'm all for it. This is Street Fighter 6 in an anime. Capcom, on the crazy run that they've been on, partnered directly with this series with real in-game footage. Young ladies don't play fighting games. At this super prestigious girls' academy, scholarship student Aya just wants to be an elegant lady. And then she discovers that the school's super idol, Shirayui, has a secret identity.
Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now.
Low tier god. Aya herself used to play Street Fighter, but quit to focus on being a proper person by society's standards. But she only gets roped back into it, in a school where video games are banned. I went in expecting the fighting game angle to be a hook for lesbian bait, which, fine, it still kind of is. But there's a scene where Aya mentions focus attack dash cancels from Street Fighter 4, and the narrator goes into a whole explanation of it, Jujutsu Kaisen style. It's clear that this isn't just any show about fighting games, and there's a deep understanding of these games and how they work on a mechanical level. It also follows the unspoken rule of the FGC, pretending like 5 doesn't exist. Speaking of games, I love Cyberpunk. And what's not better than one of the biggest pillars of the whole aesthetic? Ghost in the Shell. The brilliance of the original Mamoru Oshii film and standalone complex have stood the test of time. As someone who loves this series, this new show is super exciting. Okay, the truth is I haven't seen them at all, but I did watch the Scarlett Johansson movie in 2017. and fell asleep. I also know that the anime film and original manga are super different, so Science Saru took it upon themselves to try and adapt this new show as faithful as they can, and it looks gorgeous. The super retro aesthetic and attempt of modernizing the manga's designs without losing its soul are done perfectly, but I'm not going to pretend like I really got all of it. While I know the basic philosophy that the show tackles is about consciousness and identity, there wasn't really much exposition to help me understand what I was watching. It looked cool, and the Major can step on me, but there's still something missing about this adaptation. It might be more worth revisiting this after watching the original film and standalone complex if you're a beginner to the series. Let's go back in time to 13th century Persia. Jadugar, A Witch in Mongolia is another show from Science Saru, this time about Islam and the pursuit for knowledge. The show is breathtaking visually, and proof that anime as a medium can be applied anywhere. There's so much care in the art direction, and they actually use different languages when they have to. And while there is a bit of that anime exaggerated charm, the dedication to accuracy deserves its flowers. There's already been some online discourse about the show. Accusations depicting a slave girl protagonist in a historical setting amounts to glorifying slavery. But for what it's worth, I think that take misses what the show is actually trying to do with its characters. And it's worth watching an episode or two yourself before deciding where you land on it. Setting that discourse aside though, this is the kind of ambitious, once in a few years project that's worth your time regardless. One more historical pick, and honestly my favorite of the batch, Sparks of Tomorrow. Set in an alternate Meiji-era Kyoto where steam power won out over electricity, it follows Kihachi, who made a promise with his brother that someday electricity will change the world. This was announced all the way back in 2018 as a novel adaptation. And after everything the studio has been through, it's finally here, carrying that unmistakable Kyoto animation craftsmanship. The world that was crafted is really intriguing, and the characters all have their own unique motivations to match it as well. There's a scene where Kihachi has a vision of what electricity could actually do for people, and it's hard not to feel inspired in some way watching it. This is the one that I tell you to prioritize this season. Finally, the last show I want to talk about is in CG. Okay, I know, it still hasn't gotten the best rep, but Thunder 3 follows these three middle schoolers. The main character has a little sister that likes him a lot, almost enough to question the show you're watching. And it follows the antics of him, like a Saturday morning cartoon. Except that's not what it's about at all. One day, the kids get a mysterious disc that opens a gateway to a parallel universe. A world that doesn't look like theirs. More of a hyper-realistic setting that CG anime is more familiar with. Little sister over here accidentally wanders in and... what the fuck is that? This is an Earth silently being invaded by aliens. They've slowly integrated themselves into society, but are still a looming threat, as no one knows what their real intentions are. And this is where these small guys come in, hopefully with enough power to beat them. The original manga is written by Yuki Ikeda, theorized to be the pen name for Hiroya Uku, the mangaka for Gantz and Inuyashiki. And this show is likely going to be in the same vein of ridiculous epic proportions as the other ones. While there's always going to be the crowd against CG, there's stuff in Thunder 3 that looks great so far, with no complaints from me. And with that, there's some big shows for the season for you to watch. From cigarettes, to steampunk, to multidimensional portals. I'm sure there's a few shows I haven't covered yet, and if there are, feel free to let me know.